A chilly, rainy afternoon from Citi Field in New York. Cardinals need to get things going in the right direction. They have dropped 5 straight. They're at the 500 mark. The Mets, they're in first place in the National League East. And welcome to baseball, everyone, with my partner, the Mad Hungarian, Al Hrabosky. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Cardinals baseball. Boy, Al, you take a look at this series, not much has gone right in the way of offense, pitching, defense, whatever the case may be. It's our AT&T Uverse Reverse Recap.
Yeah, there's really nothing good you can look at other than the fact that they have scored a run. They were shut out for 25 innings by the Mets starters. Hopefully it'll be a bit different story here today.
Mike Matheny and the Cardinals look to avoid the sweep. They'll put that on the right arm of Kyle Lohse. Lohse and Dylan G. A look at those two when we come back.
Kyle Lohse is looking for his first win against the Mets, and it's been almost a month since his last win. But he is a road warrior with 4 of his 5 wins coming on the road.
Dylan G gets the start for the Mets. He's 4-3. Lohse is 5-1. Cardinals trying to salvage a game in New York. Back with more in just a moment. The 7 train with a stop at Citi Field. The Cardinals have stopped hitting and scoring. David Freese hopes to change that this afternoon. The Museum of Natural History here in New York, and baseball is brought to you by Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. By your Mid-America Chevy dealers, the #1 selling brand in St. Louis. Find us at stlchevy.com. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. And by Steak and Shake, just no equal. Overcast skies here in New York, as you can see, a live look over the city. And I think the Cardinals are ready to get out of here. But they'd like to do so with a win. Let's take a look at the Southwest Airlines lineup for Mike Matheny's club. Rafael Furcal will lead it off, and then Carlos Beltran, the former Met, and Matt Holliday here in the first. Molina will bat cleanup. Then Craig and Freese, Descalso, Chambers. He gets the start in center field today, and Kyle Lohse is on the mound. On the mound for the Mets, Dylan G. It's been an up and down season thus far for him.
And it really appears that he's a much better pitcher on the road. Even this year and lifetime, 8-8 at home, but 11-3 career record on the road. He has all 4 pitches, and he'll keep the ball in the ballpark unless he pitches here. He's got allowed 8 home runs, 7 of them here at Citi Field, which used to be very difficult to hit home runs, but it's gotten much better with they moving the fences in.
A look at the defense for the Mets. Neuenhuis is in left, Torres in center, Duda in right. David Wright at third, Quintanilla, the former Colorado Rocky, at short, Murphy and Davis on the right side. Mike Nikias is behind the plate. Dylan G on the mound, and there's a look at 63-year-old fireball inside that dugout. That's Terry Collins, and he can look up. Here we are in June, and his Mets surprising everybody in baseball.
Yeah, they're tied for first place, where Mike Matheny's got to right the ship as Cardinals have lost 5 straight and are at the 500 mark.
Cardinals have not been under 500 since the first month of last season. And Mike and the Cardinals trying to avoid that. They're 3.5 games back in the Central Division, 27-27. A real problem for the Cardinals has been the offense. Clearly, they were no hit on Friday. Saw the knuckleballer on Saturday. Nice last night was terrific. Furcal only 1 base hit in the series. He's 1 for 12. Cardinals have had 6 straight games of 8 or more strikeouts in their lineup. And that is surprising with all the firepower and as well as this team is hit to start this year.
Yeah, they're very surprising because they really don't strike out much. And I think, too, Furcal is such a table setter. And I think they miss a couple of their really team leaders, Berkman and Schumacher. Hopefully we'll see Lance Berkman tomorrow in Houston.
Strikeout up for Call. That's how we start the afternoon.
Sets up inside. Ball running away, but he can't catch up to it.
Here's Carlos Beltran. He's in right field. Game 1 of this series, he was in center. And that's 4 straight strikes to start the ball game. 59 degrees. Very cool afternoon here in New York. Quickly, strike 2.
Dan, with players reporting here, knew there was going to be a window, but most people, I think, thought this game was going to be delayed by about an hour. Dylan G hasn't missed a boat, hasn't missed a beat. Coming right at hitters. Why not?
0-2 pitch. Beltran, a swing and a miss. Bottom dropped out of that.
Said Dylan G just has all the pitches. Probably his best pitch is a changeup.
Cardinals were able to push a run across the plate in the 8th inning last night to end their streak of 26 consecutive scoreless innings, which went all the way back to the 9th inning of Thursday's loss at Atlanta. Cardinals, the first defending World Series winner to be shut out for 26 straight innings since the Royals had a streak of equal length in September of 1986. 1 ball, 1 strike.
One thing you know, Dylan G is going to give you at least 5 innings.
There's a line drive hit into right and a 1-2-3 start for Dylan G. Kyle Loesch toes the rubber when we come back. Southwest Airlines starting lineup for Terry Collins, Neuenhuis, Torres, and Wright in the first inning. Then Duda, Murphy, and Davis, Quintanilla, Nikias, and Dylan G against Kyle Loesch, who's looking for win number 6 today.
Been a while since he's won. You have to go back to the Arizona series. He's had 4 straight no decisions. 4 of his 5 wins have come on the road, but he's 0-4 in 5 career starts at New York and has never pitched more than 5 2/3 innings while pitching here at the Big Apple. But that's all going to change, as it's going to be the Cardinals starter that's going to go out there and dominate.
Kirk Neuenhuis, a left fielder, batting .301, homered in this series. He has 3 on the year, 19 driven in. We saw him in center field in game 1. Then he shifted to left after the outstanding catch by Mike Baxter to keep the no-hitter alive. Baxter since has been put on the disabled list after he crashed into the wall. And you might have thought, by taking a look at the highlight, that it was his left shoulder that was hurt. It actually was his right side from the impact of that crash against the wall. Isn't that amazing? It's not his left side, it's his right side that has the issues, and it was the left shoulder that banged into the wall right there.
You know what it was? Is kind of when he banged in there, it looked like his arm went up, and that might have had some of the problems, but a sensational catch. And what a start. 3 great pitches by Loesch. Strikeout Neuenhuis.
Andres Torres looks at a strike at the knees. Torres picked up from San Francisco. Angel Pagan was shipped to the West Coast, and Torres shipped back to the East Coast. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4 hits in this series. Grounder to the right side. Craig is there. So is Loesch. 2 away. Brings in David Wright as we take a look at the Cardinals defensively. Holiday, Chambers, and Beltran. Freeze for Kyle Descalso and Craig along the infield. And behind the plate, Yadier Molina took a foul tip ball game last night, but said he was all right. And he has been a workhorse this year behind the plate. He has caused the most innings of any catcher in the National League.
Not surprising. He conditions himself very well to play virtually every day.
2 outs, nobody on, and David Wright. His home run was to right center field in this series with those 3 hits, and we've seen him go to the opposite way a little bit more, as he used to do at Shea Stadium. 9 for 19 against Kyle Loesch. Right center field here. Chambers broke the wrong way. Doesn't matter. Calmly caught by Beltran. No score after 1. He was in the center of it all on Friday night. Home plate umpire, that's Adrian Johnson, who had the missed call on the fair ball. It was called foul off the bat of Carlos Beltran. As you get a look at Yadier Molina, Molina's batting .335, 8 homers. He's driven in 32. Something that Major League Baseball has tried to do last couple of years is reach out not only to the fans but also aspiring umpires. They've held camps in the offseason and also in season. So you get a look at the crew chief, and that's Gary Cederstrom. Lance Barksdale is here, fielding Colbreth as well. He's down at third. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Yesterday, the camp at MCU Park in Brooklyn. Rich Rieker, who we know quite well from his time in St. Louis, he's now traveling all over the place, monitoring these Major League umpires. Was here on Friday and also helping out with the camp yesterday. So it's something not only to educate the aspiring umpires but also the fans that have questions. They can go to these camps. They talk about proper positioning. They take them inside the classroom, working on positioning of where to be behind the plate. Maybe that's the one thing that we always question, Al, is where an umpire sets up behind the plate to get the best view. And there's so many things that go into that, from right or left-handed batters, where the catcher sets up, and where the umpire is most comfortable too.
Well, most of the time they're going to be over the inside shoulder. And one of the reasons for that is if you take a foul ball and it's off the handle, it's not going to hurt as much. You get it off the end of the bat, it's going to have more of a force. And I find it really interesting is last year they had a couple different camps down in San Diego for the Marine Corps. They want to get tougher.
I'm assuming the Marines held the camp for the umpires, not vice versa.
Well, I think it was vice versa. But I'll bet on the Marines.
You bet. Here's a 2-1 pitch. 2-2. Dylan G wasting no time. He has struck out 3 of the first 4 he's seen. Craig off the DL. We saw him at first base and right field in this series. Matt Adams is on the bench today, and Craig gets the start at first.
Alan Craig, the first time he missed 22 games at the start of the season because of the knee surgery, and he just was on fire. A little slower out of the box this time.
Cardinals have run into some great pitching with Santana's no-hitter. There's the broken bat. Then R.A. Dickey did not go to a 3-ball count. A knuckleballer did not go to a 3-ball count in his ball game, a complete game, until the last hitter. You had Jonathan Neese, a lefty, last night. The first since 1992. Met pitcher David Cohn, the last to do this against the Cardinals, to strike out 10 or more.
Yeah, that was a new career high for Neese. They have never won 4 straight against the Cardinals, or ever won a 4-game series here in New York. Kind of a little combination of how well they've pitched and kind of the slumping of the Cardinals right now.
The 2-2 to Craig. Off the end of the bat, he pops it up. Right, foul territory, runs out of room. Dylan G is 2-0 in his last 20 and third innings. 2.66 ERA. So we're seeing him at the wrong time too.
He's had one career start against the Cardinals. He defeated them.
Breaking ball. He throws him a strikeout. That's 4 to start the game. Cardinals dynamic pricing gives fans great deals throughout the season. We have on the website right now Cards and Royals starting at just $10. That's for a weekend series. $10 seats. Cards and Royals. Those will go very, very quickly on the front page of Cardinals.com. Base hit for Freese out to left. Also spots coming up for the Cardinals Care Golf Tournament, which is June 19th. Hall of Famers Whitey Herzog, Lou Brock, they will be there as you get a look at the replay of the base hit for Freese. 345-9418. 345-9418. There'll be a celebrity on every hole. And that's June 19th at Forest Park. Gets underway at 9. It all goes to Reviving Baseball in Inner Cities RBI program. Foul tip off the bat of Daniel Descalso. Daniel's hitting .242. Pair of home runs, and he's driven in 8 this year. And again, that number 345-9418. Golf tournament on June 19th for Cardinals Care.
Mike Matheny moved his lineup, kind of changed it around, and as a starting pitcher, you survey that lineup and you kind of say, okay, I might get in trouble here. I know where I can escape, get my outs here. As the Cardinals missing a couple big bats or more experienced bats that make a big difference.
Dylan G was shut down at the end of 2010. Issue with his labrum. No issues today. He has struck out 5 already in the first 2 innings. As Al told you earlier, it's our keys to the game presented by Toyota. The struggles of Loesch on the road against the Mets. 0-4 ERA close to 10. They've hit close to 400 against him, but throw that out the window. Cardinals need a win.
Due factor. He's due for a good game. Due for a win against the Mets, and it looks like it's going to be a tight affair right now.
Lucas Duda leads it off for the Metropolitans. A breaking ball, then a strike, 0-2. Duda, Murphy, and Davis. Redbirds head to Houston after the ball game this afternoon. Did not go. Jaime Garcia will make the start tomorrow night, we're told, and that is official. There were some question marks as to whether or not he would get that start. Was sent back to St. Louis over the weekend. Get his elbow looked at. They had a MRI. Remember, he was skipped to start. And his next turn in the rotation is tomorrow. He's flying out today and will greet the team tonight. The 2-2 pitch.
Mike Matheny saying anytime you've had a history of arm problems and you feel some discomfort, you need to kind of mentally settle yourself down. So we got a clean bill of health from the doctors.
A changeup, and on the outfield grass, second baseman Daniel Descalso makes the play. There's 3 consecutive changeups to Lucas Duda. Got him to ground out, and it brings in Murphy.
See, just down and away. Good location. Try to pull it. And the Cardinals had to shift on with Descalzo, the second baseman, playing short right field, and it paid off.
Murphy hitting .307. Matheny was asked about plan B if Garcia would not be able to start tomorrow night. He did not divulge those plans, though. He said, we've got one in mind, but we'd rather not say. Brandon Dixon, if you're thinking about him, we've seen him in the bullpen as a starter down in the minor leagues. Well, he threw 5 innings on Saturday. And what really would have added some intrigue to this would be Shelby Miller. Backhanded by Descalso. 2 outs. It's Shelby's turn to start at AAA tomorrow night. You can follow our coverage of the Cardinals with MLB.com @BAT12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, Windows Mobile. You get audio, pitch tracking, video highlights. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Cardinals.com for details. I'm sure, Al, the last thing that they wanted to do was have Shelby Miller make his debut on a emergency basis.
Correct.
In the air out to left. Holiday makes the catch. It'll be Chambers, Loesch, and the top of the lineup coming up. No score. 6 is a serious number. The Cardinals score 6, and any size drink just 50 cents all day tomorrow at your nearest On the Run and mobile. This year 6 is a serious number. Chambers had a pair of base hits last night and rewarded with a start today. David Wright well off the line at third, and even with the bag. Outfield very shallow for Chambers.
Shane Robinson, who did not play last night, suffering from migraines, is available.
It's popped up. And there's one away. Brings in Loesch. Mets starters have been dominant not just against St. Louis, but in their last 14 games. Starting pitching is averaging better than 9 strikeouts per 9. They're averaging 7 innings per start, and they're 10-1 with a 2.34 ERA.
And what's been impressive is when you look at all of them, have very good command. Very few walks from all their starters.
1-0 pitch to Loesch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinals have Garcia tomorrow, Wainwright Wednesday, and Lance Lynn on Thursday. Foul ball. Lucas Harrell will go for the Astros tomorrow night. Then Bud Norris against Wainwright. Jay Happ against Lance Lynn.
The Astros been pitching very well, but not quite as good as Santana's last outing. They're going to give him an extra day's rest.
Put in play and back to G. 2 outs as we break down the 3 starters for the Mets in this series prior to today. Santana, Dickey, and Neese. You see the first shutout after no-hitter since 1992. That was Pedro Estacio did that for the Dodgers. Kevin Gross had no-hit the Giants. So many things went into the ball game on Friday for this lefty Johan Santana. The decision making of Terry Collins, injury history of Santana trying to come back and what he means, not just to this team this year, but next. The fact that the franchise had never had a no-hitter.
Now it's only San Diego, the only other organization to not pitch a no-hitter.
Question becomes, are they pitching that well, or the Cardinals not taking quality at bats?
Combination.
Off the end of the bat, little floater into center, and that will drop for a base hit. Furcal is aboard, his second hit in this series.
It's a real factor too. With when you shut down Furcal, you do shut down the Cardinal offense. Been such an integral part right off the end of the bat, way outside, and does not carry, so he gets the base hit. He is with 2 outs.
Series started with the focus on Carlos Beltran. Video tribute to him and his return to Citi Field. Jose Reyes was booed when he returned, and that was not the case with Beltran. Remember, Reyes signed as a free agent with the Marlins, and Carlos was traded away to San Francisco.
And they're very happy with what they got in return. A real key pitching prospect.
His name is Zach Wheeler, number 6 overall pick in 2009 by the Giants. He just turned 22 on Wednesday. They say he throws in the upper 90s and is considered their top prospect now. Carlos is sitting on 15 home runs. Takes a pitch low. 2-0.
Still leads the National League with his 15th home run on May the 27th, a 3-run shot.
Three and 0. 839 games as a Met. He's 6th all time in RBIs and home runs. 280 hitter. Wearing the Mets uniform. Turn him loose on 3-0, and he grounds out. Trying to get something started. Furcal is left stranded. There's no score. Here in New York, they'll have the draft, the 2012 Major League Baseball draft, and Jeff Luhnow and the Houston Astros own that #1 overall pick. Cardinals, because of compensation of free agent losses, have 2 of the first 23 picks and 5 of the first 59. The very interested bystander will be Mike Matheny. His son Tate will be drafted at some point tonight. Pat Paris will have more on that momentarily, as Quintanilla leads it off. 7, 8, and 9. Quintanilla, the shortstop. There's been 6 different shortstops this year used by the Mets, and that includes David Wright, who had to shift from third base to short at one point because of injuries. Parts of 6 major league seasons: Texas, Colorado. Quintanilla, .238 career hitter.
Ruben Tejada, who is their supposed #1 shortstop, he went out on a rehab today.
Ronnie Cedeno has seen time. Jordani Valdespin, Turner, Wright, and now Quintanilla.
Quintanilla was recalled from Buffalo on May 29th. Had 2 doubles in his Mets debut.
Jason Bay, we've known him for a long time. His tenure in the National League Central Division with the Pirates, then Boston, now with the Mets. But he's been out with a fractured rib. He's rehabbing as well.
Yeah, he's been out for a few days.
Quintanilla with a high fly ball down the right field line, and this is fair. Into the corner, and it's a ground rule double. Quintanilla just sticking the bat out, pulls it fair. Well, Pat, it's an exciting day for the Matheny family, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be the exciting next couple of days. Actually, Dan, the first round, the compensation picks all going tonight. Mike Matheny thinks that his son Tate will probably get the call either tomorrow or on Wednesday as the draft continues. Excited for Tate Matheny is Mike Matheny. Of course, he's more worried about the game right now. He'll get to that in the next couple of days. For Mike Matheny, well, he imparted a little wisdom on his son Tate. He said when he was a high school in Ohio, he was told by many scouts, we're going to take you on the first day. We're going to take you on the first day. So Mike Matheny sat by his phone for 3 straight days. It never rang, and it never rang. 2 days after the draft was over, a scout from the Toronto Blue Jays called and said, oh, yeah, we forgot to tell you, one of the last picks of the last rounds we took you. You probably don't want to go. So Mike went off to college, and he waited until the Brewers drafted him out of college. So that was his experience as a high schooler on draft day. Not a very good one.
Thank you, Pat. Here's Nikias. He actually said, too, that Pat Gillick got involved with the Blue Jays and started to offer more money. The idea was that they felt Mike was, without question, headed to Michigan, and he dropped in the draft, and they offered more and more money up until the deadline of the first class that you attend. Once you attend that class, that's pulled foul. Once you attend that class, all bets are off. You're in college.
And once again, if you are a good student, unless you're really dealing with a lot of money, and I'm talking about $1 million or more, go to college.
This year the draft is set up to where teams, it should be more equal. They get the best players, the worst teams would. Bonus pool money. A certain amount of money that's dedicated for picks and slotted as such.
It's very interesting too, and last few years, you know, the agents, and as you accurately pointed out the other day, they're family advisors. You can't have an agent, but you know, they would work around that, telling other clubs, don't sign my guy, don't draft my guy, we won't sign with you. And so signability became such a major issue. And a lot of the high teams that, you know, the real money teams were able to get the best players because they would tell the family advisor that, you know, hey, we'll give you the money, don't sign with the lower teams that needed the better players. Try to change that now.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to the 8th place hitter. Thought is that Houston would select a pitcher from Stanford, #1 overall. Cardinals have a new man at the helm of their draft, Dan Kantrowitz, but he knows all about the Cardinals. He grew up in St. Louis. He went to John Burroughs High School and then Brown. Actually played for the Cardinals too in the minor leagues. Three and 2 the count. A fly ball into center field. You can chat live right now in our Jack in the Box Ask the Expert chats on FoxSportsMidwest.com. It's hosted as we speak by Cal Eldred. Ask the Expert at FoxSportsMidwest.com. Poor at bat there by Nikias. Can't advance the runner from second to third. Quintanilla with good speed. Now it's the pitcher, Dylan G. Batting .067, no homers, no RBIs. Think about the baseball draft, it's so much different compared to what you see in basketball, certainly football, where you draft somebody. Nice play by Freese as he takes it between the legs to make the throw. Backhanded it, knocked it down. I did see that correctly, did
yes,
I not?
You did. Pretty casual, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Knocked it down and it kind of reached through the legs, picked it up. You see the rocket right there. Thinks he's playing sandlot ball. Playing basketball or something. Through the legs.
Make the play, no problem with it.
No problem.
It's Nieuwenhuis.
Runner did go to third base on the play. Heads up running there.
2 outs, runner at third. I was about to say, though, Al, when you draft those guys in football and basketball early rounds, they're expected to make an immediate impact. And in baseball, that's just not the case.
Well, you really have to wait. In some cases, a high school guy, 5 or 6 years. College, a lot of people think the college player is that much closer.
Slowly hit to the right side. Descalso will flip with the glove. And Loesch pitches out of an early jam. Holiday, Molina, and Craig coming up, and there's no score.
He also has to come in on this ball. He's got the leadoff man running, so he doesn't feel he has enough time to make the exchange, so he just flips it. Stiff forearm. Get a nice little flip over to Alan Craig, and that brings up Matt Holliday.
Slow start for Matt. He picked it up in the month of May, and he rips it out to left field. One hop and off the base of the wall. Leadoff double for the Redbirds. Holliday lined out to right his first time up and drills that one to left.
He's 8 for 25 on the road trip now, and maybe a good start. Getting out there in scoring position, just a vicious line drive into the corner. Talk about velocity of a pitcher, but when Holliday hits the ball, it comes off his bat a lot faster than it did coming in.
Ground ball right side, backhanded by Murphy. That will save a run. Productive out by Yachty, and Holliday advances to third.
Murphy, not known for his defense, makes a nice play, and you could really see the intent on Yachty as he went this way, so at very least it would get Matt Holliday over to third. Wanted to drive him in, but he did advance him to third and 1 out. There's the backhand.
Infield is drawn in about halfway. Cardinals are 20-6 when they score first, 7-21 when they do not. Big difference scoring first for St. Louis this year.
Craig had 19 very quick RBIs. Love to see the Cardinals take the lead for the first time this weekend. It's the first time this 4-game set. Want to elevate this ball to get him to chase, but that could be a sac fly very easy.
Or a ground ball that stays fair just inside the first base line. 1-0 St. Louis. Alan Craig puts the Cardinals on top for the first time in this series. 1-0 here in the top of the fourth.
20th RBI, and the ball's up, but he gets on top of it and hits the ground ball to right side, scoots on down. So Holliday scores, and Craig's on first.
Here's Freese, who singled to left. Ten homers. He's driven in 33.
He's got his hits in bunches, hasn't he? Secured a couple, at least 3 hitting streaks, or 3 offers of at least 14 this year.
Could be a double play. Out at second, out at first. It's a double play. 1-4-3 on the double play. Holiday led the team in runs scored in the month of May. Will that continue here in June? We haven't seen much scoring at all for the Cardinals, not just this weekend, but in the month of June. He got it started. Cardinals lead it by a run. Andres Torres. The Mets down by a run, will lead it off, the center fielder. One thing the Cardinals would love to do is try to get into the bullpen of the Mets. I mentioned this early in the series. The Mets ERA collectively in their bullpen is actually a run higher than anybody else in the National League.
It's the worst in the major leagues. Did go down 5% hundredths of a point to 540. Torres, 322 career hitter against Cardinals, hitting 230 on the road on the year. And he was a home run away from a hitting for the cycle last night.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's what he suffers from, and a movie made about him and dealing with that. There's Chambers chasing that down. We feel that's one of his problems as to why he couldn't get over the hump the last couple of years with San Francisco. Baseball today is brought to you by MyKiaSt.Louis.com. And right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club Combo for just $4.99 plus tax. Citi Field, it opened up in 2009. What's so frustrating for the Mets fans, they have slashed their payroll. As Wright grounds to his counterpart at third. Largest payroll cut in the history of Major League Baseball, from 142 to 94.
Did you see who their new owner is? One of the new minority owner?
One of your favorites.
Oh, not quite.
Bill Maher.
Bill Maher. It's disclosed that a few months ago he bought him into the ownership, minority percentage.
Here's Duda. Homered in game one. One-0 pitch taken low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. You never know where a guy may wind up, as Duda was considered a very good pitcher in college at USC. Played first base, and now here he is in the big leagues playing right field. Hits it a ton, and we are tied. Second home run in the series and his 9th overall. It's 1-1.
No doubt about that one. Appears that the second deck in right field overhangs the first deck, but that had plenty of distance halfway up the second deck. Breaking ball right into the wheelhouse, down and in for a left-handed hitter, and he knew it.
A strike at the knees to Murphy.
So that one first lead of the weekend of the series, short-lived.
0-2. Saw Murphy make a nice play in the backhand, and then on the double play ball did not look all that comfortable. A little confusion who was covering second base. That just missed, but they were able to turn it 1-4-3. Off the bat of David Freese to end the top of the fourth. You wonder what's in the back of his mind on some of those plays. He's curtailed his season the last 2 years with hard slides that tore up his knee.
I'm sure Tim Tuffle, their third base coach, working with him, trying to teach him how to become a ghost. You know, stay on that bag, but how to get off it real quick and complete that throw.
Line to Freeze, positioned perfectly. We're tied up. One swing of the bat. Crushed off the bat of Duda. His 9th home run. 1-1 as we head to the 5th. If you have a question for us, go to carsoup.com/Cardinals and send us your email the booth questions. Descalso leads it off and takes a ball high and outside. Daniel today struck out back in the second. He's 0 for 1. Dylan G has struck out 5, all coming in the first 2 innings.
Didn't like that call. He was ready to walk on down first base.
A 3-1 pitch taken high and a leadoff walk. Something the Cardinals have not done, Al, in this series against the Mets is just work counts. We haven't seen very good at bats at times taken against this staff.
Yeah, good point. And many times they're coming up there, it seems like it's always 0-2. And I think the Mets have surprised the Cardinals a little bit in this series because they expected the Mets to be more patient. And they've kind of got burned a couple times with early pitches being hit where they thought they'd be taken.
This combination maybe starts something here. Descalso at first, Chambers at the plate. And out to visit the catcher. Talk it over with Dylan G. So it's draft day in Major League Baseball, and you think about seeing that patch, the kid patch, passing of Gary Carter. Think about this. They had Dwight Gooden, first-round pick. The next draft choice in the second round was traded away to get Gary Carter. Then Roger McDowell, part of that championship team, was a third-round pick. You can change the fortunes of a franchise by drafting well.
There's no doubt about that.
Cardinals in the final out of last year's World Series. Homegrown products, 7 of them on the field. Redbirds have drafted well, and if they have had picks that didn't make it with them, they've turned out to be part of trades.
I will see one of them, Brett Wallace, tomorrow, as he's been recalled, as Carlos Lee's been put on the disabled list.
Wallace was playing third and first base. One ball, one strike on Chambers.
That was an early mark of the Tony La Russa era, where the Cardinals traded a lot of their minor league talent to get big league talent. And you can do that for only so long, and then you deplete your minor league system. And Jeff Luhnow put the Cardinals in very good shape again by several years of his draft.
2-1 pitch taken inside. Throw is high and a stolen base by Descalso.
His second steal of the year.
John Vooch has had a big hand in that. The farm director of the Cardinals and many of those lieutenants that are working diligently today. But you look at the Cardinals farm system right now. below AAA, it is loaded right now. At AAA, I don't know if it's a down year, but the biggest prize would have to be Shelby Miller, more than likely, as Chambers pops it up, trying to go to the right side, can't do his job, and staying put to Scalzo. It's day baseball here on your home of the Cardinals, Fox Sports Midwest at Citi Field, Flushing, New York, Queens. Dan, Al, and Pat with you. Second stop on our 3 cities in this road trip. Craig has an RBI due to the solo home run. It's 1-1 here in the top of the 5th. Outfield very shallow for Kyle Loesch.
A lot of times what happens at the AAA level is with clubs that will sign 6-year minor league free agents, you really don't have as many of your prospects at AAA. Some of those prospects start becoming suspects.
Loesch pops it up into shallow right. Catch made by Duda.
You start seeing some guys become what they say are 4A players. Not quite good enough for the big leagues, but really outstanding players at the AAA level. So a lot of times that AA teams are where you load up with your prospects.
Now for Kyle. Good to see him play as much as he has this year. Been healthy, only 37 games that he played with the Dodgers last year. And had 24 hours to think about the deal to St. Louis. He approved it, and a difference maker down the stretch. He'd even talked about retirement.
It was probably even, last season he was a better defensive player than offensively, but this year I think he's just done a great job at both ends.
It was a bloop base hit, 1 of 4 today for the Cardinals, and struck out to start the game swinging.
On RBIs from a leadoff hitter, still hitting 320.
1 ball and 2 strikes. With the injuries, he's been asked to play a lot. You wonder if that's led to a little bit of a recent slide by him. On the ground is short. Cardinals strand a runner, their 3rd of the afternoon. Midway through 5. Loesch back to work. We're tied up. It's 1-1. Next weekend, the Indians will be in town, and on Sunday, kids can take home that lunch cooler bag presented by Powerade and Shop and Save. Weekend is loaded with promotional giveaways for the kids. Best part about it, they can take home a free ticket to a future game. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, free tickets for the kids. Fireworks on Friday night. Cooler bag Sunday. Block party 2 to 3 hours prior to our first pitch on Saturday. So if you're thinking about making a visit to St. Louis, why not do it this weekend? Here's the 0-2 pitch to Ike Davis.
Boy, is he struggling. Came into action, bang, 166. He's 0 for 1. 105 in his home ballpark. Off speed. This will be a changeup.
Terry Collins has said that Davis will fight through this at the major league level. Now, he made that statement a couple of weeks ago, and you wonder at some point, Al, if you're doing him a disservice when you keep him at this level, the media attention, major league level. If he can't get it figured out, why not send him back down? He's only 25. Vinny Rattino is a guy they have that they can use at first base. 2-2 pitch. And as we've talked about time and again, rarely does he see fastballs. He has not been hitting breaking balls at all. He's seen the most in Major League Baseball. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Hits it sharply to second. Out on the outfield grass was Descalso, and Davis is the first out. Well, positioning today, Al, has paid off.
Well, especially on a hard hit ball like this. It probably would have been right at the normal second base position on the field, but as hard as that was hit, I'm sure Descalso was happy he had that extra 20 feet or so.
Omar Quintanilla doubled down the right field line and was left stranded. Quintanilla, you might remember, famous night in Denver. Rick Ankiel's 2 throws. We know he has one of the best arms in baseball, if not the best, and Quintanilla was on the receiving end, unfortunately for him, of being tagged out. The reaction of our colleague Chris Duncan was one I'll never forget. He was in the dugout, and it was one of disbelief and excitement. Teammates for Rick Ankiel. Troy Gloss was the third baseman. He deked the runners at the time.
It's a lost art, isn't it? Throwing at the major league level.
I think now I guess Harper would be in that conversation. Frank Core would be in that conversation of the top throwers. 2-2 pitch. Strikeout for Kyle Loesch. It was May 6th, 2008. You can't get anything by the guys in the truck. They found it. One of the most spacious outfields in baseball. There's Chris Duncan. That was the second of the 2 throws that night. Remarkable. It's fun to watch a guy throw a ball like that.
Oh, no doubt about it. There used to be at least one guy on every team that had that kind of arm. Say Loesch only made one mistake today, and that was due to home run. Other than that, he has pitched very well.
0-2 pitch. And a soft liner caught at second. Nikias is the third and final out. Beltran, Holiday, and Molina coming up. Registration for the Blues in Fox Sports Midwest Race for the Cure team ends today. Join the team for a special pre-race activity and team t-shirt that day. Go to stlouisblues.com to register. Chilly afternoon. Rain has stayed away. It's overcast skies here in New York.
Should be fine right now because they did say if rain restarted, it would be very light. So let's get the lead and hold it.
Terry Collins said before the game he always appreciated the fact that Beltran went to him and diffused a situation, which was Pagan could play center, Beltran could play right, and really a situation that was talked about an awful lot beginning of last season. And Carlos went to him and said, hey, I've got no problem. I'll shift to right field. Diffused it, made it a little bit easier for Terry Collins in his first season because all eyes were on Reyes and Beltran. Fans knew it. Media talked about it. Free agents to be.
Yeah, and that doesn't always happen from your star players. And especially somebody that won 3 Gold Gloves in center field. Sometimes they're a little stubborn and say, I only insist on playing my position.
1 out, 1 ball, no strikes on Holiday. Cardinals need something positive going on here. You don't hit, you look flat. You don't have base runners. I'm sure Mike Matheny would love to try some things here to get it going, but no one's on base.
That's right.
Popped up to the right side. Davis, foul territory, and makes the catch. Major League Baseball on Fox Season, and Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential. To learn more, visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Quickly 2 down. Here's Yadier Molina. Yadi has grounded out and struck out. Mentioned in years past how Molina would be the man of 1,000 different stances, but this is the stance we've seen for the most part since day one. That front foot up on his toes, he's slightly open with his stance, and then as the pitch comes, he closes up and takes a rip. He's been locked in this year.
He really has. He's 305 coming in. Oh, excuse me. That's what he hit last year, 305, and he's 335.
Pulls it foul.
8 home runs. He had a career high 14 last year.
And talking with the Cardinals, they love the fact that they feel his weight is back. He's able to drive the ball. Years past, that necessarily wasn't the case. And Yadi is called out on strikes as that backs up for a strike. Second out in the inning was Ike Davis putting it away near the seats. There's the secret weapon, who was the first Mets player born after the team entered the league. Jose Oquendo, July 4th, 1963.
Kendo got to the big leagues when he was 16, I thought. Maybe he was definitely a teenager. Maybe he signed when he was 16, got here when he was 19 or so. But he was very young when he showed up with playing for the Mets. It's an important inning for Loesch. I mentioned he's 0-4, but he's never pitched more than 5 2/3 innings against the Mets here in New York.
Third strikeout of the afternoon. He gets his counterpart G. And the top of the lineup, Neuenhuis and then Torres.
If I were a betting man, I would bet that he would get through this inning unscathed.
Well, he looks good today. Very sharp. Off-speed pitches. Changeup has been working. The breaking ball.
But the Cardinals have been outscored now with the 1-1 here, so 20-2 in this series. Starting pitching is so important. I thought Wainwright pitched a lot better than his line showed.
There's a fly ball into left center. Chambers makes the catch. 2 away. What's on Tap is brought to you by Budweiser. We head to the great state of Texas, Houston, Texas. The Cards and Astros tomorrow. Garcia against Harrell. Jaime 3-3. That'll come your way at 6:30 with our pregame show tomorrow with the one and only Pat Paris, Jim Hayes, and Cal Eldred. Andres Torres. That pitch right there, that's been much sharper today, and the changeup go along with it.
And the curveball has been very good.
There's another one and a high strike. 0-2.
Strike zone's been good for the pitchers today.
Fastball to keep you honest, up and in. Now what does he come back with here on 1-2?
Times we've seen him have a good slider, but it looks like he really likes his curveball today. Another fastball. Like Yadi wanted it inside and it stayed up and a little bit away, but couldn't do anything with it. .
1-2 pitch. Breaks his bat. Slow roller to second base, and Loesch is sharp today. Cardinals baseball is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. We have time. Friend Skip Schumacher is doing a great event here, located at Sunrise United Methodist Church. It's July 19th. It's a Saturday from 5 until 9. Stars for Baby Risa. You can find out more at babyrisa, REESA.com. It's a family friend that's in need. And Skip has his teammates as well as members of the Blues and Rams coming out. Babyrisa.com. Be signing autographs, taking pictures, and saying hello, and all that money going to such a wonderful cause. So make sure you take a part of it, and hopefully Skip is doing well today, as it's quite a team the Cardinals have on the DL. All stars and guys that have helped win pennants before.
Our buddy Bill Frost has got a bunch of items from Vince Gill's golf tournament. And by the way, our good friend Wayne Hagen was part of the winning team.
Winning team?
Winning team in the golf tournament. Vince Gill.
Wayne, the former Mets, Rockies, Giants, White Sox, and Cardinals announcer. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Craig. They're expecting a very big turnout July 19th for Skip's event. Hopefully you can do that as well. Babyrisa.com to find out information, who's signing, where it goes to. 2-2 pitch to Alan Craig. It's one thing that John Mozeliak has done. You know, you get good baseball players, anybody that plays at this level, I don't care who you are, you have to be extremely talented, the best in the world, but also good people. Good clubhouse, good group of guys. And the Cardinals have done that. I give John credit too. He goes to his players many times and will ask them about certain individuals that maybe they're looking at. And there's no doubt it's a results driven business. Wins, losses, average, home runs, ERA, whatever you want to look at, but also good people on the other end too.
Dan, at one time, you know, talent just won. You know, if you had the most talent, you were going to win the ball game. But now I think you really do need character people. And you need that camaraderie. You need guys to get along together, pull for each other. And the best talent doesn't always win.
Backs up, taken inside. And it's a walk to Craig, so the go-ahead run is on. June 15th, Merrimack Caverns night at the ballpark. All kids 11 and under receive a coupon good for one admission to Merrimack Caverns cave tour and boat ride. Always 60 degrees inside the cave. Again this weekend, any kid that comes to the ballpark, free ticket for a future game. Cleveland Indians will be in town. Man at first, nobody on, and here's David Freese. Freese rips it into left center field. Craig on his way to third. David Freese with a two-hit day. He's 2 for 3, just what the Cardinals needed.
Usually when David breaks out of one of his little slumps, and he did late in last night's game, and he came around to score the only run, but starting to pick it up a little bit. This is average. He'd gotten below 260. Alan Craig not running that well, but good enough to scoot over to third base. Weren't going to send him anyway because nobody out. And Descalzo's got a good shot to give the Cardinals the lead.
Tim Burdack is the lone lefty that the Mets have in their pen. 2 on, nobody out. Little check swing back to G. Goes to second. They throw it into center field. Cardinals take the lead. Craig will score, and it's 2-1. Dylan G, by the way, Al, I don't think even hesitated to look at the runner at third and went right to second, and then they throw it into center field.
Yeah, I think he could have had Alan Craig trapped if he really wanted to. But here, look at, but he didn't have any choice. The third baseman reacted to the play too. So Alan Craig was no man's land, but look at Wright's nowhere. He's able to come home on the. It was not a good throw, but it has to be knocked down. And Quintanilla looked like he didn't even really see it. Got to keep that ball from going into center field. Yes, it wasn't a good throw, but you didn't need to make it. You play it into an error.
E1, no RBI on the play. Adrian Chambers, who's 0 for 2, tried to bunt his way on, popped out to the catcher, also popped out to second.
John Roush, I think he's 6'10".
Need a lot of tattoos to cover that body. Grounder off the glove of G, and a force play save. Whoa. Descalzo beat it out, and the bases are loaded.
So not getting a lot of help from his shortstop. Quintanilla goes at the middle, hits him in the heel, checks there. I thought he was out, but doesn't seem like there's any argument. And now Adams is going to pinch hit for Kyle Loesch.
A lot of ways to look at this, Al, because if you're Mike Matheny, you're going for it here. You've got the bases loaded, nobody out. You're using Adams, but you're also saying, I trust my bullpen. As well as Kyle Loesch has pitched. Makes you think twice about it.
I agree. And we'll take a look and see. It hits him in the heel of the glove, so he doesn't catch it cleanly. Murphy's right there waiting for the feed. Descalzo is going to be coming in there, and it looked like from the naked eye, they'll score it a single. Chambers has to be happy about that.
Clearly, it was a message sent the other day, part of a double switch, when Holiday, on a catch that was made, threw it back into the infield. Adams was nowhere to be found with a runner at first base. Ball got away, double switch, middle of the inning. They took him out. Neese was on the mound last night, did not start, so Adams coming off the bench today.
They have the shift on, 3 infielders on the right side. And we've seen him use all the field and power a ball through the left side of the infield.
Oh-2.
Curveball, then fastball. Backdoor curveball, fastball up and in. He's gotten his first major league home run. How about his first grand slam?
0-2 pitch to Adams. Struck him out. Well, that move did not pay off.
Nope. Try to go up the ladder with him. He chases the ball up over the strike zone. Kyle Loesch pitched very, very well, and he is the pitcher of record as Sepchinski warms up. Cardinals do have the 2-1 lead, but you just wonder if you weren't in a 5-game losing streak whether you would have done that.
high chopper off the plate, rolls foul. I guess part of the thinking too, just trying to think along here with Mike Matheny and deal all the options, but at some point maybe in the back of his mind, one way or another, Mott's going to pitch in this game. He hasn't been used a lot if Loesch doesn't go the distance, so we'll see him, you're hoping, in the ninth with a chance to save it. But the way that this team has been scoring runs, or lack thereof, you got to go for it.
Yeah, you have to take advantage of every opportunity. Because there was no outs, I think in one sense you could say, well, I hope he didn't hit into a double play ball, but
one ball, one strike, bases loaded, 4 for Cal. Extremely important at bat for the Cardinals right now. To be a changeup, he was out in front, 1-2.
Yep, got the circle change grip. Starts around the thighs, then it's going to fall below the strike zone, but you're committed to the arm action.
I could see it though either way that Mike would go in that situation.
Sure. I always say, Dan, there's no real right or wrong. It's just up to the execution of the player. Player comes through, look like a genius. Doesn't, second guessing.
Putting it in play, diving stop by Wright, and they're able to get the man at second base. Hard baseball out there by Chambers. Run scores, and it's 3-1. Boy, he went in hard, didn't he?
He went in very hard, but he's got to watch it because there's not a lot of weight on that body by Chambers, and he borderline whether he could have given them the double play because he was still nowhere near the bag. Watch here. Wright makes the save, gets from up and throws there. Now watch where Chambers goes after him, but he can't touch second base. So an umpire could have awarded the double play, and you wouldn't have had an argument.
Carlos Beltran. I don't know, Al. Pretty hard baseball. I like it.
Oh, definitely. But you have to be a little closer to that second base bag. When you can't reach it, then an umpire could say that you were going after the guy, which you were. There's one of those plays you were talking about, Murphy, who's been injured, who's learning how to get out of the way.
2-0. It's about the time you got a pitcher on the ropes that Beltran could lose one in a hurry here.
Looking for that mistake pitch. And a curveball. Fastball in. Call picks up his 9th stolen base. That might be huge. Obviously want to throw that something off speed. The spike of the curveball. Tries to backdoor it.
Got him. Big strikeout, but the Cardinals pick up 2. and they regain the lead. Time to stretch.
How about the Busch Bash starting at 4:45 every Friday home game? 200 autograph line tickets will be distributed at the new Busch Bash gate located next to gate 5. Only fans with the line tickets will receive an autograph at the Busch Bash. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for more details. I know Dan knows who will be there this Friday, but we'll let him tell you that. Zepchinski will try and take over as the Cardinal bullpen. It's our Chevy Mid-America's call to the bullpen. Zepchinski worked a perfect 7th inning last night. Kyle Loesch pitched brilliant. And you see the numbers for Zepchinski. He got his 3rd loss on this road trip. That was in Atlanta. But Kyle Loesch only allowed 2 hits in 6 innings. One of them happened to be the home run by Duda. He didn't walk any, struck out 3. And he stands to be the winner if the bullpen can hold this win.
Here's David Wright. Liner and over the outstretched glove and arm. Second baseman Descalso. David Wright is aboard, and the tying run comes to the plate, and Duda, who's already homered.
Well, we have a second left-hander now. Freeman to help out. And there you see the attempt by Descalso just beyond his reach. So the first hit for David Wright. Zepchinski's not quite straightened out, is he?
Been asked to get righties and lefties out, extended outings, more so than what we saw last year when you had Arthur Rhodes at the back end with Mark Zepchinski. The top of the 7th, 1 run was earned, the other one unearned. 3-1 St. Louis, bottom half of the 7th. Duda's home run was his 9th of the year.
These are ball club and home runs and RBIs.
To the right side, and Craig tags out Duda for the out. Fox Sports Midwest joining up with the Mission Continues in Cape Girardeau this Saturday. You can donate a few hours of your time and help renovate a ball field for area youth. Reserve your spot online, missioncontinues.org. Murphy has lined out, also grounded out. Tim and Liz Collins, proud parents of Georgia Elizabeth Collins, born this morning, 7 pounds 10 ounces. Congratulations to the Collins family. Ground ball right side again. Craig flips to Zepchinski for the out. He doesn't realize that's only out number 2, or maybe just forgot about the runner, and now time is called.
How about Jose Oquendo? He started running. He came running out of the dugout, almost got to the grass as the feed to Zepchinski, but the runner at third base, he's looking down, and then you have to tell him. I watched right, as I'm sure Tim Tuffle, the third base coach, is telling him, hey, he's not paying attention. No harm.
Pinch hit Scott Hairston for Davis. Hairston with 6 home runs this year. 271 average. He's driven in 21.
He's got 7 career pinch hit home runs.
If the Cardinals can hold on, they go 1 game above the 500 mark. strike at the knees. Terry Collins not letting Davis match up with the lefty. Counters with Hairston.
Hairston hit for the cycle earlier this year. And he hit home runs in 3 straight games.
Taps it foul, strike 2.
Last season we were quite comfortable seeing Zepchinski face right-handed batters.
2-2 pitch. Pulled foul. Undoubtedly for Terry Collins, a right move to use Hairston in this spot. Davis would have seen slider after slider. And he's been not very effective in that role of driving in runs.
Got a 5th place hitter there. You don't like to have to pinch hit for him. But that's just the way the fact of life is right now, with Davis swinging and struggling against off-speed pitches.
In the air, left field. Holiday will watch it sail away. His 7th of the season, and we're tied up. It's 3-3.
And his 8th career pinch hit home run. You don't think of him as being a home run hitter, but 8, that's one away from the team lead now. And maybe one too many sliders, as this time he leaves it right there, and we have a tie ball game.
Sanchez getting loose in the pen. The move was for Adams to pinch hit with the bases loaded, taking out Loesch. That move did not pay off. He struck out. Loesch out of the game after cruising. Kyle only gave up 2 base hits.
5 consecutive starts for Kyle Loesch without a win. But he did his part today.
A strikeout to end the inning. Hairston ties it up. We've got a ball game. It's 3-3 after 7. Welcome back to baseball here in New York. Let's go to our studio and our Bommarito Sports Update with the one and only Jim Hayes.
Jeff Samardzija on the mound today for the Cubs, facing the Giants and Ryan Vogelsong after sweeping the Padres following their 12-game losing streak. The Cubbies trying to avoid a 4-game sweep at the hands of the Giants. Dan, Al, we send it back to you in New York.
All right, Jim, thank you. You're looking dapper as ever. John Roush, it's our Chevy call to the pen. The big man takes over. John Roush. So Roush takes over. It'll be his 26th appearance. He is 3-4. We've seen him do just about everything in his career, from closing, setup man, middle relief. He's even had some spot starts along the way. And the first pitch to Matt Holliday is a breaking ball that's taken low. 3-3 game as we play here in the top of the 8th.
Bullpen for the Mets has a lot of decisions, 22 of them, 10 wins, 12 losses. Roush has 7 of those. He's 3-4 with an ERA at 4.09.
Here's a 2-0 pitch and a ground ball left side, and that's a base hit. So Holliday is aboard to start the top of the 8th for St. Louis. Hitting the ball hard today. His second base hit to go along with a double. Dylan in Springfield, Missouri, in our carsoup.com email the booth question: throughout a slump like the Cards are in right now, what is the greatest thing you can learn from it? Go ahead, Al.
Well, you can learn
Patience,
a lot,
right?
Yeah, it's a long season. You know, you're at the 500 mark. You're still, you know, you're 3.5 games out of first place. So you do learn a lot from mistakes. You learn how to not panic. You learn how to not put too much pressure.
Yanni with a fly ball into right center. One away.
Learn to believe in yourself and your teammates and fight your way out of it. Best thing you can do, though, is get good starting pitching. Good starting pitching sets a tone and allows you to have that opportunity to break loose.
Cardinals got that today from Loesch, and I have to wonder about Mike Matheny, first year as a big league manager, and what he feels right now going through this, and no fault of his own, seeing guys on the disabled list. This is not the team that he expected to inherit. Some very good players that are sidelined right now.
And I'm sure he's putting more pressure on himself than he needs to.
Big day for the Matheny's. His son will be drafted, possibly today, probably not, more so tomorrow. Here's Alan Craig. Craig with an RBI single, also walked and scored. Speaking of scoring runs, David Wright did that on the home run moments ago, bottom of the 7th, and in doing so, he's now tied with Jose Reyes for the most scored runs in franchise history for the Mets.
John Roush looks big to you. He is 6'11", 290.
The 2-1 is hit out to deep left field. At the track, it's at the wall. Gone! Home run for Alan Craig. He needed that. The Cardinals needed that. And they get it, his 6th of the year.
6th of the year, 3 RBI day for him. He's up to 22 RBIs in the season. That may not sound like much, but remember, he missed the first 22 games. Then he spent another stint on the disabled list, missing 14 more. So he has been a productive bat, and he's coming alive today. We've talked all weekend about trying to get into their bullpen. This is Alan Craig's only his 16th game of the year, and he's got 6 home runs and 22 RBIs.
That is flat out production. Boy, did this team need that.
Yeah, well, it needs that, but why not get a little bit more? Keep on driving. That's how you make a convincing victory. That's how you stop a losing streak.
Chinook's difference maker, Alan Craig, 2 for 3 as he jumps on that pitch that was up. 2-run homer, single, walk, handshake. Chinook's difference maker, Alan Craig.
I remember where that pitch was when Alan Craig first came to the big leagues. We didn't think he could turn on pitches like that. Worked with Mark McGuire. They adjusted his hands a little bit. Got him not so pointing the bat towards the pitcher, lengthening his swing. Got to tighten it up.
You know, Mike Matheny looking back in the 7th inning. Craig led off with a walk. You could have seen him potentially use a pinch runner for Alan Craig, who's not running all that well. But you then lose that bat, which clearly you don't want to do. And it pays off as he stays in the game. Our attendance today, 25,830. 5-3. Top of the 8th. 25830. Fouled back by Freeze. And he did go. A strikeout of Freeze.
Ninth strikeout by Cardinal pitching today, and it looks like Scalzo coming up. Will they make a change? Yes, they will.
There's some talk at one point about John Roush being their closer. Struggles at Francisco early on. He gives up a key hit, 2-run homer, and now the lefty Burdak coming in. Lefty Tim Burdak, and it's 5-3 St. Louis as we're in the top of the 8th with 2 down.
Burdak leads Major League relievers with his 31st game. It's 2-0. See, he's only a total of 14 2/3 innings. And he's not allowed to run in 15 of his last 16 outings. That covers 6 1/3 innings. His last 17 outings cover 6 2/3 innings. You talk about a left-handed specialist.
Yeah, he's on a pace for close to 100 appearances. Mike Marshall made 106 for the Dodgers in 1974. Another pitcher that's had Tommy John and been able to come back from that.
Lefties are batting just 201 against him this year. You know, when Mike Marshall went 106 innings or 106 appearances, he had a clause in his contract that if you got him up, you had to put him in. And he also had a clause that if he didn't pitch in 2 days, he had to pitch the next day. But his record really wasn't that good in the sense where they forced him to pitch, and he forced the club to pitch.
Strikeout, but Craig has given the Cardinals a lead. It's 5-3 St. Louis as we move to the bottom of the 8th. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. And by Taco Bell. Taco Bell, live Mas. 5-3 St. Louis on top. And here's Eduardo Sanchez, and you wonder if this is the role that the Cardinals would like to see him in. The 8th inning setup man to get to Jason Mott. We saw Sanchez pitch in this series. Gave up a run on a wild pitch in 7 games. He has 7 strikeouts, but 5 walks, and that is the issue right now with Sanchez. They'd love to see him have better control.
It's kind of that troublesome spot is who's going to be the 8th inning setup man. Just waiting for somebody to claim it.
Marte is getting loose in the bullpen. They're going to make sure that he's ready to go if Sanchez isn't effective inside the strike zone.
He has the weapons to be a real quality late inning guy. He's got mid-90s fastball. He's got a breaking ball that is swing and miss. As you said, sometimes the command throwing strikes is a problem.
There's Josh Thole. The strike on the outside corner. It's behind the plate this weekend. What has turned out to be a historic weekend for the Mets. Mater Dei High School, Breeze, Illinois.
The Mets actually wanted him to stay on the disabled list for one more day, and he said, I'm fine. I've had some rehab assignments. I want to be back. And then he caught the no-hitter by Santana.
Said even Santana would not talk to him after the 5th inning. Thole with a base hit into center field. Wonder if they'll keep him in to run. He's not running all that well either. He's dealt with a concussion, also a sore leg, and leads it off with a base hit. More than over 400,000 Americans die each year from smoking related illnesses, including cancer, heart disease, and stroke. 10,000 in Missouri alone. Call the Missouri Tobacco Quit line to quit right now. 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
Tino, who went into part of the double switch when they brought in Roush, play first base, is batting.
This guy sounds like the perfect New York Met. Vinny Rottino. Runner at first, Thole, and the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball, right field. Beltran over to make the catch. Rottino, by the way, is from Wisconsin.
Ruins the story, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Neuenhuis, top of the lineup for the Mets. 5-3 St. Louis. Runner at first, bottom of the 8th. Cardinals trying to salvage a game in this series.
Last year when Sanchez made his major league debut, he did not allow an extra base hit to a left-handed batter. Pitched very effective and then came up with a sore arm as he was worked an awful lot.
Fly ball into left center. It's tailing and it gets down. Chambers couldn't get to it. They're going to hold up the runner at third base. Neuenhuis, his first hit. And here come the Mets. Base hit could tie it up.
He gave up his first extra base hit to a lefty. With already man on base, wasn't a good idea. Down and in, shoots it out here. Chambers plays it off the wall. As you said, Tolley not running real well. He was held up at third with only one out. Here's the pitch. Starts it inside, tails back and everything, but down and in to a lefty.
Neuenhuis, who's at second, can run, and he's the tying run. Mott now is throwing. That pitch misses in. Andres Torres keeping Sanchez in here. They've used Zipchinski, not going with Freeman, the youngster. Mott getting loose in a hurry. Here's a 1-0 pitch. High fly ball out to right. Beltran is back and makes the catch on the track. Spins and throws as he fires it back into the infield. A run scores to make it 5-4. RBI number 15 for Torres this year.
Mike Matheny's going to make a double switch. David Wright, their best hitter, comes to the plate. Mott was warming up. David Freese looks like he's coming out of the game, and Tyler Green will go to play second base, and Descalzo will go to third.
Jason Mott coming in, and he'll be asked to get a 4-out save. Cardinals on top by the score of 5-4.
Got 8 saves and 11 opportunities. He's got 5 decisions. And David Wright, face of their franchise, got a chance to bring in the potential tying run at third base. There are 2 outs.
Duda on deck. Cardinals, though, have used Zipchinski. Wouldn't bring Freeman in to face a lefty, so you've got Mott here, the righty. David Wright.
Big gap in left center. We talked about that Wright hits a lot of balls to right center, so Chambers shading that way.
Wright is 1 for 3. He's flied out to right field, grounded out to third, single to center, and scored a run. 1-0 pitch to David Wright. These two teams see each other an awful lot in spring training, and not many predicted this type of start to a season for David Wright. Coming off a fractured back, career lows in numbers from a year ago.
People didn't expect this type of season from the Mets in general. They're definitely overachievers. Most people figured they would be last in the East, and then they find themselves today tied for third. Excuse me, a 3-way tie for first.
2-2. Wright, by the way, is 0 for 2 in his career against Mott with 2 strikeouts.
Jason pitched an inning last night, as he hadn't pitched since the Philadelphia series.
Fights it off.
Excuse me, lost in Philadelphia. His last time he pitched was the final game in Atlanta. Started this road trip, what was that, 3 weeks ago? Or does it just feel like we spent 3 weeks in New York?
Feel a little quicker if team was putting up some runs too. 96 on the gun.
Had a pretty good rip at that one.
The 2-2 down the right field line and foul.
See, just an ugly little flare like that. The thing went foul.
See where David Wright, he's got to get that bat started a little earlier with Mott on the mound. Nearly to the backstop. 3-2 on David Wright.
The more fastballs he sees, the better it is for him to time it. That's your best pitch. You got to get beat by your best pitch.
Right, a liner into right. Beltran is there. We head to the ninth. The Cardinals have a lead of 5-4. Jason Mott gets the final out of the bottom of the 8th. Off the bat of David Wright. Hard hit, but right at Beltran. The frustration of the Mets third baseman.
Back in New York, going to the 9th inning. Cardinals have that 1-run lead coming up immediately following the game. Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Jim Hayes, Cal Eldred in studio. They'll talk about Alan Craig's ability to hit the high fastball. Cal will talk about the new draft rules that go into effect tonight. And also a little mic'd up Adrian Chambers will lead things off here in the 9th. Dan and Al, back to you.
All right, thank you, Pat. So Chambers, then Green, and for Cowell. Burdack, a rare appearance where it carries over to another inning. But with the 2 lefties up, he stays in. 10 years ago, he was stocking shelves. Tim Burdack finding his way back to professional baseball. Coming off of Tommy John surgery.
Hope they weren't heavy boxes.
Tolley still in the ball game. He's the catcher, and that's inside to Chambers. I know with your extensive research on every player, Al, I figured I would just explain Tim Burdack's history to our viewing audience, but I know that you knew about that.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing how many pitchers have had Tommy John surgery. That one surgery pretty well perfected.
The one that's not is the shoulder. As we saw, it's not a lock that guys come back with the shoulder issues, and if they do come back, clearly not the pitcher that they once were. Although Cardinal hitters may disagree with that statement after watching Johan Santana on Friday night.
You just think about Alan Bettis, all the problems he had. He might have been up to 3 shoulder surgeries. Such a promising young pitcher, and never got to see his full potential because of his shoulder problems.
He was flat out awesome early on. If you go back to 1996, it was a decision that Tony La Russa made not to start Alan Bettis one of the games late, the championship series against the Braves, and some believe that it was at the time the wrong decision. But now afterwards, hindsight 2020, definitely was the wrong decision.
We had a 3-1 lead.
That's right. Chambers works a walk. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the St. Louis Cardinals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Great effort.
I hope he's proud of himself. As you mentioned, Burdak really doesn't face too many batters. Stayed over the lefty and lost it.
Bobby Parnell, hard-throwing right-hander, comes in the ball game. 1-1 record, his 27th appearance. 5-4 St. Louis here in the top of the ninth.
Unscored upon in 18 of his 26 appearances. Tied for third among National League relievers with 11 holds. And he notched the strikeout in 7 of his last 9 appearances, including strikeout in yesterday afternoon's ball game, preserving the 6-1 win. Tyler Green went in as part of the double switch, his first plate appearance.
Talk of Parnell becoming the Mets closer before Francisco nailed it down. Hops off the mound and will underhand to second. The sacrifice is good for Tyler Green.
Well, he's a good at bat off a tough left-hander for Chambers. And good to see him get that leadoff walk. Now can he come around to score?
Really, you think about it, last year it was Parnell who was given the opportunity to close, could not do that, and because of that set off a chain reaction of signings in the bullpen for the Mets. Frank Francisco, 2-year deal. They got John Roush, Ramon Ramirez. Fractal takes a pitch high for a strike. He didn't like it. Converted only 6 of 12 save opportunities last year. Jason Isringhausen picked up save number 300 for the Mets last year.
Parnell 27, Salisbury, North Dakota.
Fastball has reached triple digits before. He's consistently around 95, 97. Slider, curveball, changeup. That tails back in, but it's called a ball. Fractal has a new life. So he gets one back. The high strike went against him. That strike goes against Parnell.
I'm with you. I thought it was a strike too.
Insurance out there at second base. Fractal slaps it to right. Chambers stays put, 2 down. You think about that play with Adams the other day, Al, where you know everywhere on the field someone can move towards a position, make something happen, and you see this here with the shortstop.
Well, watch him as right is momentum as he looks Chambers back, but it carries him into the grass. So while all that's going on, Quintanilla got over to third base in case Chambers tried to advance. You're absolutely right. There's some place to go.
Beltran with a fly ball, left field, shallow, and the catch is made. So the Cardinals will try to salvage one game in this series. When we come back, it's 5-4. Mott coming back out. Alan Craig is our Budweiser player of the game. 2 for 3 with a 2-run homer, a single and a walk, and Mott back out there for the bottom of the ninth.
9 pitches to retire David Wright.
Here's Lucas Duda, long home run. One of the only mistakes that Kyle Loesch made in this ball game, and that was back in the 4th inning.
Loesch was very good. 6 innings, only 2 hits, a double in the 3rd, the home run in the 4th.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's a fly ball. Should be caught for the first out. Holiday is there, and he's got it. 1 away. Big out there in Duda. Daniel Murphy is the hitter. One out, nobody on. First pitch to him. Fouled away. Valdespin is on deck. Oh and 2. Story of this series has been the pitching of the Mets. The return of Carlos Beltran was 2 for 18 in the series. And now the Cardinals trying to salvage 1 game.
With the fastball as he's just wearing back, playing old-fashioned hardball.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ooh, taken just low at 96.
Could have called that one.
We've seen, though, this strike zone has been a higher strike zone this afternoon. The 1-2.
He must have heard you. 99 miles an hour. That pitch there.
Mets have had 5 pinch hit, game tying, or go ahead RBIs this season. Saw that earlier. The Cardinals, though, thanks to Craig bailing out Sepchinski, who had given up the home run to tie it up. It was 5 RBIs, the most in baseball. The 2-2. Good battle here.
Trying to pick up his 9th save. He would have all 9 saves by the Cardinals.
Got him. Strikeout from Mott. 98 on the gun. The Cardinals are 1 out away. Nothing fancy about that. Here you go. Try to hit it.
You know, the converted catcher. He doesn't have, you know, a stylish windup. Almost takes the ball close to the ear and throws it. Short arms the ball, makes it deceptive.
Here's Valdespin, his 1 home run of a hard throwing closer. Jonathan Papelbon. That pitch at 97 for strike 1.
Pinch hit, 3-run home run in the 9th of May 7th. at Philadelphia off of Papelbon for his first major league hit. That's kind of coming into in a royal way, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Hard thrower, Papelbon, one of the best in the business. Here's the 0-1 pitch by Jason Mott. And that is strike 2.
0.91 average with his 1 home run and 3 RBIs coming his first major league hit. Look at him, you could say maybe a slap hit here or there, but not a home run.
He got him, and the Cardinals win it. 99 on the gun from Jason Mott. They hold on 5-4 the final. Alan Craig, the big home run in this ball game. And Mike Matheny can relax just a bit on our way to Houston.
Relax a little bit and get back into the Central Division where the Cardinals have a good record. They built most of that up early in the season when they're playing against their Central Division foes, and if you beat them all, then you win your division.
Well, St. Louis certainly needed this. 5-4 our final. Don't go away. You see Pat Paris there. He's coming up. Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live post-game show. It's next.
The Cardinals beat the Mets 5-4 as they avoid the 4-game sweep. Cal Eldred and I are just getting things started on the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. And how about that, Cal? The Cards get out of New York with a win.
You get a good start from Kyle Loesch, and then the offense was timely today. Finally some good offense, but the Cards did what they needed to do, win this last one, head back into the Central.
Much more from Cal Eldred coming up. Plus, the Cardinals looking to avoid the 4-game sweep at the hands of the Mets. We'll tell you why the Mets weren't able to bust out the brooms today. The Redbirds turn to Kyle Loesch to try to shut down the Mets' bats. Cal will break down Loesch's stuff today, and we'll take you back to Queens for Cardinal player reaction, plus mic'd up. And who is this young guy, and why is he so upset about the new MLB draft rules? Plus, it's Happy National Hug a Cat Day. Cal?
No, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live is coming up next. Why you?
Welcome to Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live.
The 2-1 is hit out to deep left field. At the track, it's at the wall. Gone! Home run for Alan Craig.
The Cards' bats had been quiet, but they made some noise today. Alan Craig, a 2-run bomb as the Cardinals win it 5-4 and snap a 5-game losing streak. Let's get back to Citi Field. Pat Paris caught up with Alan Craig moments ago. Our Mid-America Chevy dealers player of the game.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. You told me when you walked off the field we needed that one.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a tough stretch of games, but, you know, we're going out there battling and playing hard. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't go your way, but, you know, it's big for us to come out, you know, today a day game and give it our best effort.
A couple of big hits, none bigger than that 2-run home run.
Yeah, you know, just trying to keep it simple. And, you know, fortunately I got a pitch to hit. And, you know, I'm just glad I could help the team and, you know, get that win today.
You must have been as in shock as most of us who watched this weekend series, the 4-game series, at how they were able to shut down this potent offense, but it showed up today.
Yeah, you know, that's baseball for you. You know, you don't know what to expect a lot of times. You know, we have a really good offense, but, you know, it's tough to do it every night, you know, and, you know, we're going to have stretches like that, but, you know, we have a tough group of guys that, you know, at the end of the day, we're going to be fine.
And you had a, you know, getting the great starting pitches is what you need, and you got that today from Kyle Loesch.
Yeah, Loesch did an awesome job throwing strikes, all his pitches, you know, getting ahead of guys. It was, you know, fun to play defense behind him today.
Congratulations on the win, well deserved, and enjoy a little bit of time off before tomorrow night in Houston.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, that's Alan Craig. Jim, Cal, will send it back to you in St. Louis.
Pat, thanks a lot. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside our Fox Sports Midwest studios for the post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live alongside the great Cal Eldred. I'm Jim Hayes. We start with Alan Craig and our Don Brown deal. You're just not going to sneak a high fastball past Alan Craig.
Not a good idea to try to go up above the zone, the hitting zone, not in the top of the strike zone to Alan Craig. And that's our Don Brown deal, the game in the 4th inning. You're going to see he's 0-2 here now. And there's his up at the top of the zone, 300, over 600, and 500 up and in. Nice little slider at 74 for a strike. They come in here. You see his bat is quick in there. He fouls it off. 0-2, they're trying to climb the ladder. And Alan Craig, that's in the 667 spot in his little batting strike zone. Don't go there. In the 8th, a little breaking ball away, then a fastball away. Now he's 2-0. Goes to the breaking ball. Probably a good idea against Alan Craig, but don't go back up there. That's not the spot to be. They go up above the zone, and it's not an easy thing to do to get on top of anything that's 90 or above in the strike zone. That's in the top of the strike zone. It's very hard to square that up. Most of the time they hit underneath it, but Alan Craig loves that pitch, and he doesn't miss it.
And we love the result. We get back to New York City. Dan McLaughlin and Al Roboski rejoin us now for a view from the booth. Guys, a big win for the Cardinals as they head out of town.
Yeah, it is a big win. I'm sure it's a relief down there in that dugout in the clubhouse right now. It snaps the 5-game losing skid, and it's been obviously historical weekend when you think about the pitching of the Mets with the no-hitter. Then they come back with the knuckleballer, and they pick up a shutout there. And then last night with Nice, he was terrific, the lefty. So this weekend was tough for the offense. But one guy has really been good when he's been healthy enough to play, and that's Alan Craig. Cardinals really need him healthy and in this lineup.
Yeah, and he responded once again. He comes up in the 3rd inning, and look where this pitch is. They tried to go up the ladder. He gets on top of it, hits a single, an RBI single down the right field line. Then in the 8th inning, tie ball game, they tried to go upstairs again. And as Cal said, that is so difficult to center that ball, especially when you're throwing in, up in the 90-mile-an-hour range. But he hit the home run. He got a 3 RBI day. He's 2 for 3. Also walked and scored another run. But, what is it, the 15th game, 16th game for him, and 22 RBIs. He's doing his share.
A real bright spot, too, probably overlooked a little bit, the start of Kyle Loesch. Very good.
Yes, it was. Only because of the scoring opportunity, he goes 6 innings. He probably could have gone more. Only 2 hits allowed, and just the one bad pitch, it was a home run. But Kyle Loesch pitched very, very well and set the tone. Yeah, good to see at the back end of the game. Jason Mott ending the ball game with a pitch that was close to 100 miles an hour. So we look ahead now to tomorrow. Jaime Garcia. Guys, we'll preview that start of Jaime's coming up later in the show. Let's send it back to you.
All right, guys, thanks. We'll talk to you later. That's Dan and Al's take. Remember, Cardinal fans, we want your thoughts on today's game just as much as Dan and Al's. Tweet them to us at FS Midwest, and we'll answer some of them on the air throughout the show. All right, highlights. Cardinals with 1 run in 3 games so far in this series. Cal, the offense with issues early.
Lots and lots of swings and misses. As a matter of fact, Dylan G, give him credit in the first 2 innings. 5 strikeouts, Jim. That's not quite going to get it done.
No score in the bottom of the 3rd. Runner on 2nd. 1 out for Dylan G. And Freeze makes a nice play here to save a run, Cal. Cards get out of the inning, keeping the game scoreless. Okay. Still scoreless. In the top of the 4th, Alan Craig with a man on, and Craig slaps a double down the first baseline. Matt Holliday scores, and how about this? The Cardinals have their first lead since last Monday. Little offense. Unfortunately, it didn't last. Lucas Duda hits a bomb to the upper deck and right, and the game is tied at 1, his 9th homer of the year.
And we did say that was the key for Loesch, to stay away from the long ball today.
Top of the 7th, Dan Descalso up, runners on 1st and 3rd, a soft comebacker, and G throws it away. Alan Craig scores, and guess what? It's 2-1 Cardinals. After a Matt Adams pinch hit strikeout, it's for Kyle up with the bases juiced. He grounds out to a diving David Wright, but a great slide from Adrian Chambers prevents the double play. Take another look, Cal. Pretty good stuff from a guy who doesn't get a ton of playing time.
He doesn't get a lot of playing time, but he's a good defender, but also he runs the bases with aggression. Former football player, he can reach the bag. As long as he can reach the bag, that's a clean slide.
It was 3-1 Cards, but that lead would not last long either. Scott Harrison taking Mark Zipchinski deep and out to tie the game. How about 3 apiece? 8th inning now. Alan Craig, 1 aboard. Oof. He takes a John Roush fastball deep and gone, a 2-run shot, and the Cards fight back, and they now lead at 5-3. Bottom 8, Jason Mott, 2 on, 2 out, facing David Wright. Let's go pitch by pitch, Cal.
Well, he wants to get ahead in the count. He works it to a 1-1 count with 2 fastballs. Now they want to work David Wright inside. He misses, comes back, evens the count. David Wright is just missing these pitches. Motter tries to overthrow one. This pitch he wanted at 3-2 away. It creeps clear back to the inside corner and actually sort of jams David Wright, but he gets the all-important out.
And all-important, the win for the Cardinals as they win this one 5-4. Dan and Al were talking about it. Kyle Osh pitched beautifully today, gave up just 2 hits, was pinch hit for. We can talk about that later on.
Right.
Also, Mott dominant with his stuff. More importantly, though, a win for the Cardinals, and Cal, they needed this one.
And just for Max line one, Mike Matheny brings in Jason Mott for more than just a 1-inning save in this situation.
A 4-out save. All right, let's talk about Jason Mott. Comes in for 4 outs. Traditionally, the closer comes in for the 9th. We've seen Mott do this before. And Mott was really good. He had the velocity, but he also had location.
He did have location early in the count, especially the first couple hitters. He had good location down in the zone. If you're going to miss side to side, it's got to be down. And these pitches that you see that he's with that heater, he's getting in on guys. They're down in the bottom of the zone. And at some point when you're throwing 98, it doesn't matter whether you're down in the zone or not, but up and in on the hands to the left-hander. That is why Jason Mott is so good with his fastball. Bring it up above the zone or down at the bottom of the zone.
When Mott goes more than an inning, he's 3-1, 2.38. That speaks to a guy's durability. And I know Jason Mott isn't a guy that says, hey, wait a minute, I'm the closer. This is my role. He'll pitch whenever they want him.
You said it as we're watching the game. Jason Mott is a very strong and very tough individual. He's a guy that was a catcher, and he's still learning to pitch. He can pitch with his fastball. We saw that today, down and low in the zone and above the zone. But he is a guy who has really, really learned how to use his fastball in the game.
The Cardinals finally take a bite out of the Big Apple as they beat the Mets 5-4. We'll hear from Mike Matheny coming up next, I'm sure.
Is that a smile on his face?
Yeah, a smile. We'll see.